Good afternoon. This week's tip of the week will focus on journals. I think it's very important to make sure that I share with you some key points on how to complete journals, how to access journals, and just a few things about journals. So just like discussions, there is two ways to access journals. If you go into the week that you are working on, so for example, there is no journals due this week, which is week 5. So I'm going to click on Unit 2, which is where a journal was due. If you scroll down the page, you can see right here where it tells you Journal, Unit 2, Journal 2, using SMART goals effectively. It tells you after reading that week's resources to please answer the journal questions, supporting your work with evidence from the provided resources. Please review the attached document for journal details. So you would read the reading and resources first, and you would review whatever PDFs are here. Then it tells you the instructions, so please reflect on the following questions in your journal. So normally there's 2 or 3 questions that are here that will ask you to answer the question. And then there will be requirements here. So each journal is meant to be an ongoing individual conversation between you and myself. And all conversations in the journal are strictly confidential, so no one else can see them except for you and I. Now, please note that just like your initial discussion posts are due of Wednesday of every week, so are your journals. But just remember, not every week there's a journal due, and we'll go over which week's journals are due here in a second. So again, this is one way to access the journals. Another way to access the journals is if you're looking at this pane here on the left side, you can click on Journals, and this will take you to the journals. So if you look here, there are 5 weeks that journals are due. We already did Journal 1 and Journal 2, so we did week 1 and week 2. So the next time that a journal is due, which it will be next week, which is Unit 6 or week 6, and then there'll also be one due in week 7 and week 8. So again, you can just click on that journal title and it shows you the exact same thing here that it did if you access it through the unit tab. So either way you can access the journals. Now, be very mindful that these journals are 100 points, so they are meant for you to think critically, think outside of the box, and to share whether it's personal and or professional examples with me. And so this one here, it tells you exactly what you're to reflect on in the journal. So you would create your journal, you would respond to the questions, and then you would post your journal. Now, I'm not going to click into any of the journals here because of confidentiality and seeing other students' journals. But when you post your journal, I will then go in and read your journal and I will respond to you. I may share some personal information, how I can relate to something that you shared. I may ask you additional questions because you may not have answered each of the questions thoroughly. Or I may just kind of try to solicit more conversation between the two of us. The expectation is then for you to go in and read my response to you and then respond to me if I ask any questions. If I don't ask a question, that's fine. You don't have to respond. But it's really a way for you and I to have an ongoing conversation regarding that particular topic. So again, please be mindful, there is no journal due this week, which is Unit 5, but there will be a journal due in week 6, week 7, and week 8. Again, they're due by Wednesday of every week by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any other questions, any other concerns, you're having difficulties accessing the journals, you don't really fully understand what's expected of you, please reach out to me individually. If you have not completed Journal 1 and Journal 2, I would highly recommend going back and completing them now that you know how to access this and what is expected of you, as journals are part of your grade. Thanks again for your time and have a good rest of your week.